Hello, District Heights Assistant Principal Udoh here with another tech tip for you. And so, one of the things that I know some of you guys have asked about and wondered about is how you can take something that you have in PDF form and make it something that you can share with the students so that they're able to write or type on it. And so, I am just going to do a very, very quick video for you today on how you can take a PDF and throw it into Nearpod so that it becomes something editable that you can use in instruction in your classroom. Remember that if you are doing this, we are only utilizing resources from the curriculum. And of course, there are many other ways to do but I just wanted to share this one with you briefly on today. And so what I have in front of me is just a lesson from iReady. And so as you can see, it is a PDF and it has several pages. And so this might possibly be being used for an intervention lesson or for a whole group lesson in a classroom. And as you can see, there are some pages on here where you would actually want the students to be able to write. So question, answer, key details. I would actually want the students to write in this answer and key detail part. I may not want them to write on these pages. However, if I'm using closed reading, maybe I do. Maybe I want them to be able to highlight and underline the text as we read. And so I might want to make this entire document something that the children could write on. And so the way that I would do this using Nearpod is the first thing I would do is download the document. And so I'm just going to hit my little arrow to download the document. And I'm going to call it whatever I call it, and then I'm going to hit save. I've already done this, and so I'm just going to hit replace because it's already on my computer, and it pops up in the bottom of my screen, and so there it is. And so now I'm going to go over to Nearpod, and Nearpod is in Clever, and so if you log into your Clever and you go under engagement tools, you will find Nearpod. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to hit the create button and I am creating a lesson. And so here is where the magic happens. So I've already saved that document on my computer. So I'm just going to hit upload a file and I'm going to click on the upload button, or you could drag and drop from your desktop. That's completely up to you. But I'm going to upload my iReady's document. And I want to upload it as individual slides. Okay, so not PDF viewer. I want it to be individual slides. And so there is that button. And then it's going to take some time to process. And so I'm just going to sit back and relax for a second and let that process. Tick, 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 tick. And so what's going to happen once it finishes processing is that all of those pages from the PDF are going to populate here as individual slides. And so that's going to happen in just a moment. Again, my document was 18 pages. If your document's not 18 pages, it won't take that long. And so here is where the magic happens. On the top of your Nearpod, there is going to be an icon that says convert to draw it. And so I'm not going to do slide 1 right now. I'll just do slide 2, which, remember, if I want the students to be able to mark the text, highlight and underline, I could do slide 1. The annoying part about this is that you have to click on each slide individually, and that is okay because we're going to make it happen. However, for slide 2, I'm going to hit slide 2, and then I'm going to hit convert to draw it. Then it's going to tell me that I'm about to create a draw it slide, and do I want to keep a copy of the original slide? I'm going to check the box that says no. And then we get magic. And so what it does is if I hit the preview of this particular slide, this is now the slide that the children are able to see, and I am able to instruct the students when they're answering the question to use the text function, and they could make a text box here an answer in this box. And so let me actually show you how to do that. If you haven't done that, I'm going to drag it over here. And the children have been doing it all year, so they absolutely know how to do this. And so they know how to click in the box. And it may be acting silly for me because, oh, there it is. Test 1, test 2. Because I have 2 things open. But then I can put my answer here in this box. And so I'm going to exit out of preview and I'm going to show that to you one more time. And so for slide 3, I'm going to hit convert to draw it. I'm going to say no. And then when I check it for my preview, I now have access. And so I can use my highlighter. And as a student, I can pick my color of my highlighter. I want to highlight in yellow. And this says, think of 2 questions to ask the Beaver's Lodge, then underline words and phrases that help you answer. And so I can go through and I can actually highlight whatever it is I need to highlight. And the cool thing about this particular document, because it was long ways and not straight across, I could actually have my students take notes in this little area over here if I wanted to. And so if I wanted them to answer specific questions on their document, I could have them take notes here. Or as a teacher, just during my instruction, I could, direct them to use the sides and things like that. And so that is how you do it. You would literally just go through, click on each slide that you want the students to be able to write on, click convert to draw it, hit the no button, and then let the system do its magic. And if you aren't familiar with Nearpod, the last thing you would do is label your lesson. So lesson 1, ask and answer questions. And then I am going to save and exit. And so once I save and exit, my lesson is right here. And again, those of you who may not be familiar with Nearpod yet, when it is time for me to teach my lesson, I'm going to hit the button that says live participation. And I am going to give this code to students. Maybe I drop it in the chat for them, or maybe I screen share and I just tell them this is what it is. Tell them to go to join.nearpod.com. Give them the code, and when they get the code, they will now have this document in front of them, and you will be able to, as a teacher, advance the slides for the students to be able to answer. And so that is the way that works.